What's up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It is the 9th of November, 2016. How you doing today? I wanted to take this moment because you're starting to see a certain type of emotional display because there's a lot of people feeling uneasy. There's a whole lot of people that are allowing their emotions to be hijacked. That's right. Unless you are unaware, we just had our election and there was a selection. But you know what? I see a whole lot of humility going on right now, too, because you turn on the radio, you turn on the TV, anywhere there is access to media, there is someone that is expressing what they feel. I want to let you know something. Come a little closer. Hopefully, you watched some of the videos along the way, especially for this year. When when it comes down to it, no matter what your position was, no matter what your hopes may have come from this election, you are overlooking one key thing. You had a life. You had a life before this process began, and you have a life right now. And for some, this was a snapshot of what was internally going on, and you think that all is lost. Let me tell you something. You do know the devil's a liar, right? Did you also realize that the people that do not deserve to hear you breathe, the people that have been holding your emotions hostage, the people that have willfully made an attempt to hijack your direction? Do you understand that you are giving them what they wanted? Because it is not a need. Anything without a need is no growth. Follow me now. If you think that the focus on the results have an impact on the work that is required of your life, it's time to get back on focus. It's time for you to check yourself. It's time for you to ground your feet. Some of y'all might not understand what I'm conveying. every moment, every day, every time that you wake up in the morning, guess what? That's your redo. That's your opportunity to to plant your foot down one step closer to the person that you are destined to be. So the real question should be asked, why are you feeling a certain kind of way? Why are you angry? Because of a possible decision that was supposed to be done collectively, your civic duty. You're putting so much focus on things that only have a small, it's just a blip on the radar of your life. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. Do you realize, people, if you support it or you didn't, there are still people sitting back in the cut enjoying your sadness right now, solidifying their bias right now, and they're enjoying that you do not have any control over yourself right now. Okay, let's look. Because I'm trying real hard to be real PC about this, y'all. Because see, at the end of the day, Gerald got to do Gerald. See, I love me some Gerald. I love me. I know who I am. And I know that when it's all said and done and I take my last breath, when they look back at my life, they're going to say that brother had a heart. That brother loved God. That brother didn't allow any obstacle to get in his way. Even when he was knocked down over and over and over and over again, he still had enough faith to stand up. See, sometimes you're going to get clipped. You ain't going to see it coming. But guess what? When you stand up, you take a breath and you survey. You take note what's in your environment and what is not. So right now, you turn on the radio. You turn on the TV. And you're hearing a certain tone, a certain rhetoric. One thing for sure, you hear a lot of people wrestling with the fact that they have to humble themselves. And they don't feel comfortable about that. This might be foreign to them because this is another dynamic of who you are, the makings of you. Who am I talking to? Why you think I kept putting it out? Do you know who you are? Why you why do you think God conveyed peace be still? Why? Because if you don't have peace within yourself, you won't have control outside. Because there's no balance there. But a lot of people fall prey to this. People are angry. People are saddened. But they don't even realize the people that don't have their own interests, the people that don't deserve to hear you breathe, the people that have gained footing in your life, they sitting back and they loving it. They love watching you suffer. And you don't even see it. One of the biggest misconceptions that society has conveyed as life collectively or individually was going to be easy. That's a lie. Anything worth of value, there's going to come struggle. That's what solidifies the value of it. That's what also releases the insight, the process, the wisdom. That's why I keep trying to convey y'all. This ain't the end all be all. But think of it this way. If you don't see value in your life, do you actually think the things in your environment is going to see value? No. There's somebody at work today and they're probably 500 degrees hot. And what's going to happen? Someone's going to say something, and guess what? They're going to fly out the handle. Listen, the greatest lesson you're going to ever learn is to learn to master you. Haven't you noticed? I've always echoed this. People that exhibit control issues have no self-control. It's no different. The people who lack communicational skills never get what they need. It's always overshot. It's never accurate. So guess what? You got to stop running. You got to put the work in. You got to look at it for what it is. Because if you don't, guess what? You just gave validation for more of the same to continue. Why do you think cycles sustain? They sustain until you master it. That's why things come full circle, y'all. That's why there's no benefit in holding secrets. That's why living in your fear make you numb. Who does that benefit? It don't benefit you. It benefits the people that are not for you. Now listen, you're gonna have a lot of people gonna have 1,001 excuses on today. Race, economics, uh, uh, sabotage. They're gonna come up with every excuse on the book to deflect. There ain't gonna be no ownership given. Why? You can't take ownership if you're not authentic. So why are you doing that to yourself? Why? How much is your dreams worth? It should be just as much or equal to the investment to make it come to pass. Maybe now is the moment some of y'all are saying, you know what, Gerald? I've been trying to deflect. I've been trying to not, I turned off. But what you're saying is right. And the reality is, I'm afraid. I don't know how to do it. It all starts when you forge that connection with yourself. Nobody can do your work, y'all. Nobody's going, Only people that are going to turn around and say, yeah, I got your light work are the same ones that look at the benefit of just being there. Who am I talking to? You deserve better. But no matter what goes on outside your door, it doesn't matter if you're not watching what's going on inside you. You actually thought you had a victim card. Huh. They convinced you to think that you were less than. Well, if that's the case, why are you feeling the way you feeling and they not? Because they didn't deserve to have access to you. No one's exempt. Nobody. I don't care if that is blood relative. No, we teach people how we are treated. The energy you put out is the energy that's going to come back. Why? Because we're talking about the spirit, y'all. Listen, I don't care if you got a 20-pound cubic zirconia and you got a 1 ounce diamond. That 1 ounce diamond is going to outshine that 20-pound cubic zirconia. But guess what about that cubic zirconia? When reality comes, when pressures happen, that 20 pounds zirconia is going to break. It's not going to be able to stand the test of time. But that diamond will. And you are that diamond. But see, I understand that too, because to get to that place to feel emotionally safe, that means we got to start taking accountability for the things we have partaked in. We have to acknowledge what has occurred or what is going on. We must put relevance there. Because until you do, guess what you're doing? You are socially, emotionally, spiritually holding yourself hostage. Why do you think people are walking around numb, frozen? You know those people that say, "Yeah, I was in a dark spot." Yeah, because they don't want to take accountability of where they've been or what they've done. But guess what? Life has a way of showing up right in front of your face and say, "Deal, deal with it." Otherwise, it continues to grow, continues to feed and take a life of its own. That's not your story. That's not your story. But I'll tell you this, misery loves company. And that is the message of the day. You got a lot of people who want to sit up here and say, well, um, there was an agenda. Guess what? The only agenda that you should be worried about is, are you happy today? Are you strong enough to take one step closer to your dreams? Are you protecting your interests by being grounded? See, when you're grounded, ain't nobody gonna knock you down. But before they even can knock you down, you are aware of what's coming. So you got a choice. You got a choice to deal or go within. But see, I'm gonna tell you what is going on is you're gonna see a whole lot of people, they're gonna try to justify their bad behavior in these next 4 years. They are. But you know what you're not gonna find? Truth, accountability. How about inner peace? You're not gonna find that. So if you're not gonna be able to obtain that, guess what you're not gonna see? The real you. You know that little boy, little girl that's in us all. And until you make a conscious decision that that person matters, you're going to keep running. You're going to keep chasing after what we call magic beans or paper dragons, illusions. Illusions ain't nothing but distractions of what's really going on. And we live in such a narcissistic, sociopathic, and schizophrenic society. When people get got, when you look back, they were the ones holding the door open. You deserve better, y'all. So, what I'm trying to get you to understand is this: no matter where you are, you had a life. Where you're going, you still have opportunity to enhance it. Sure, you got plenty of people say, well, it's about power. You don't want to give nobody your power. Well, that's easy to say. That sounds good, but if you still don't know within yourself first who you are, how you gonna know what to protect? How you gonna know what's deemed valuable? How you gonna understand what is needed? How you gonna understand how blessed you are? Meanwhile, you're walking around, your face is all crunched up. You do understand there's 250 muscles that make your mouth, that make you smile. But if you're frowning, it's because there's a disconnect there. There's no love there. There's no peace of mind there. But you know what is there? All the other people that never gave a damn about you to begin with. So, while everybody's focusing on what's going on outside their window, why don't you take a second to look down at where your feet are? Why don't you take a second to connect to that beautiful heart and that beautiful mind with endless possibilities? So you can't build nothing off of potential, y'all. But yet we fall in that trap all the time. Well, he seems nice. He has so much potential. Yeah, potentially break your heart. Potentially to lie to you. To potentially set you back. To leave you more broken than you were. I believe, y'all, what is going on spiritually, this is a time of checks and balances. You have to be honest with yourself to be open to admit, what do I really need? What do I need to do? Where am I going? Do they see value in my existence? Because if they don't understand the value of your existence, they cannot respect your legacy. How about that last name? So meanwhile, those people that, yeah, somebody's blowing past my breezeway. Because it's fall, I got to leave, so bear with me. Devil's a liar. I'm just playing with you. Like, where'd the volume go? I was waiting for the blower to pass by. So, devil's a liar. Time for you to go. And so he said it was, and it shall be. Okay. Now, what God has in store for you for 2017 is going to be so amazing. It's going to be so incredible. There are going to be so many spiritual doors that are going to be open for you if you're willing to love yourself more, to claim you. Maybe this is the time you can finally be honest with yourself and say, well, you know what, Gerald? I got to get back on one. One is meaning you. This is the time that spiritual backpack that I've been holding on to, I've been mad at that person for so long. Don't even know where they are, but I'm still mad at them. But the sad thing is they don't even realize that all that energy that you're giving, they're oblivious to it. They're oblivious to it. But just know this, in the intended time and moment, if you hear anything that I say, all people, all things come full circle. You'll see him again. Oh, yes, you will. The key is, did you learn the lesson? Did you prepare? And are you at peace? Because if you're in an environment that robs you of your smile, you're going to attract more of the same, which is lack. And there's a whole lot of lack right now. There's a whole lot of people saying it's the system. Only system that you need to focus on is yours. Okay? So stop giving your energy to things and people that don't care. But don't worry, they will. They'll get it and they'll be back. Now, I hope you guys have a blessed week. You're halfway through. Now, for some people, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. All I say to you is this: watch. Watch what God shows you now. Because really, this is an example of clarity. But know this: birds of a feather flock together. But if they don't know the direction that they're going on, they'll never get to where they need to be. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me to discern mine. You're the only person that is standing in the way of your blessings. Not the people in the cheap seats, not the people that have a perception of who you are. You control that. But if you place God first in everything you do, guess what's going to happen? Your blessings will be revealed and your setbacks will become your setups. And anything that's not with God, it's got to move out the way. Why? Because you're priceless. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. And if that's their position, just know this: God always got something better. You just got to claim it. And you start to love you. Have a great week, y'all. Bye.